So let's talk James Bond. This is a new movie, Spectre, and I'm a little bit late reviewing it, but I wasn't too excited about going to see it. I'm not much of a James Bond fan, but I think this is going to be an impartial review then, because obviously my Marvel reviews are always saying how great they are because I'm a Marvel fan. So I'm not a James Bond fan, not saying I don't like all the James Bonds, but not been a massive fan of the James Bond work and storylines of past. So Spectre sees Daniel Craig return as James Bond. We also see Christopher Waltz taking the mantle as the new villain. Christopher Waltz was absolutely amazing in the Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained movie. We see a new Bond girl, a French young lady. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. My French isn't amazing. Léa Seydoux, or Seydoux. She is pretty much unknown to me. I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff. But she comes onto a screen and she had quite a good presence. I think she was very good as a Bond girl. She wasn't your typical Bond girl who falls in love with James Bond straight away like they all do and can't wait to drop her knickers. We also see Sam Mendes return to direct this, the director of Skyfall. This time he was given a budget of $245 million. Yeah, $245 million. What a budget. So with a budget of $245 million, you can do absolutely anything, right? Wrong. The sort of 3 story writers and 4 screenplay writers went for something that's already been done. And done a few times this year, in fact. It's a similar storyline to Captain America Winter Soldier. I know that was last year. But it has extremely similar storyline. We see James Bond here. Gets a message from M from beyond the grave. After she dies, she leaves him a message asking him to track down a certain person. This leads him to Mexico on the Day of the Dead, which was a great opening scene, but is mostly what takes up the trailers. So I thought this was going to be a bigger part of the movie rather than a 5 to 10 minute opening scene. So Bond comes across an assassin who is wearing a ring with a octopus on it, and finds out that this assassin is a member of a secret group called Spectre. So Bond takes it upon himself to start trying and find out the secrets of Spectre. Meanwhile, back in England, the British Secret Service is going through a shake-up itself, and looks like a private company is going to be taking control of all of their Secret Service intelligence. They're creating a Secret Service intelligence network around the world with 9 other countries, so they can all share intelligence. If you haven't worked out where I'm going for this with the Captain America reference to Winter Soldier, we're talking about Hydra here. We're talking about a secret service, a secret cult embedded into everyday life, everywhere, anywhere and everywhere you turn, there was a Hydra agent. And this is the same with the film Spectre. We don't just see this in Captain America, Winter Soldier, it's also the key storyline in the film Kingsman Secret Service, also 2014. So I don't know if the writers and screenplay writers of Spectre expected everyone to forget about the movies that happened in 2014. But as I said, with a budget of $245 million, you think they could come up with an original storyline, an original plot that isn't so far-fetched I almost fell asleep. That's enough of a storyline of Spectre, as I don't want to give much away, not that there's much to give away if you watch these other movies. So on to my good parts of Spectre. So the good parts of Spectre, the stuff that kept me entertained for at least 3 minutes at a time, was 1, the Aston Martin DB10 has a fantastic street race and getaway chase from Dave Bautista, who's driving the Jaguar CX-75. The cars look fantastic, and this is some great driving choreography done, which does keep you gripped to the seat for an amazing car chase. Next up is the explosions. There's some fantastic explosions. Someone's told me that they even won an award for one of the biggest explosions on a film set. They are so good to see in IMAX. Fantastic viewing, the sound is amazing, just the colours look great. But that doesn't make up for the £245 million spent on this movie. Sorry, dollars, not pounds, because if it was pounds I'd probably be even more angry. There's also a good fight scene on a train between Bond and Dave Bautista. The wrestler Dave Bautista appears in this, but he's the new Jaws of the franchise. He doesn't even have a line in this movie. He actually only says one word. Yeah, you're right, that was a short list of what I actually liked with the movie. I could rattle on with my list of what I disliked about the movie now, but I think I would bore people and would annoy James Bond fans. But that's exactly what this movie did to me. It bored and annoyed me with the lack of creativity, the lack of storyline, the useless plot. So first of all, let's compare the spy movie plot and storyline. I'm comparing the spy movie plot and storyline of Spectre compared to Kingsman. Again, I'm not going to give too much away about Spectre, so you're going to need to see this movie to get the comparison. Spectre, an action thriller spy movie. Not much action, and didn't actually thrill me that much, so I think it failed at both parts of that. Kingsman, an action comedy, tons of action, some fantastic action, a better fight scene than Spectre. I'm talking about Colin Firth's fight scene in the church, if you haven't seen it, and an absolutely funny comedy. So yeah, I think that beats Spectre there. Next, money, Spectre, $245 million. Kingsman, $81 million. I know which one I'd be watching again. Kingsman wins hands down. Next, I'm going for how believable the secret cult is. So Spectre, we see the secret cult of Spectre and the meetings of all the rich and powerful around the world versus Captain America Winter Soldier's Hydra. Spectre seems to have copied the design of Hydra's logo a little bit here. Not saying it ripped it off, just saying it's very similar. Secondly, you don't find out much about Spectre in this movie, about how it started, why it was started, and the reason behind it. You find out tons about Hydra over the Marvel movies, so again, I think that Marvel's Hydra beats Spectre in the secret cult wars. And last but not least on my comparison is product placement. This is the only thing that I think Spectre wins at. There is so much product placement in this movie, it was like watching a 2.5 hour long advert for Amiga and Aston Martin. Everything Bond wears is named, and it's virtually showing the name tag all the way through. I don't know how many times there was a massive close-up on the word Amiga on his watch. The only other movie that I can think of that has this much product placement but doesn't quite beat it is Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. Or Tomatoes if you're English like me, but it's an American movie. That's enough James Bond and Spectre bashing for me. I'm not going to go on about how much I disliked this movie. So all I'm going to say, Spectre versus Kingsman, Kingsman wins hands down. Spectre versus Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier wins hands down again. Spectre versus Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes, or Tomatoes, Spectre wins. So let's just say Spectre is better than the American movie Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if I've upset any James Bond fans, but I truly didn't like this movie. So now I'm looking for people's opinions of the best movies of 2015. I will be releasing a video of my favourite movies of 2014. So message me, comment below of what you think needs to be in the best movies of 2015, which will be hitting my page late December. Obviously, Spectre won't be in there. Thank you.